So in the previous classes, we gone through the process of few of the methods which are responsible for getting input and output from the console and the data types also. So hope that our concept is clear. If any doubt, let me know. We will explain it again. Further,
Sure.
we can move to the next topic, and next topic is related to that I can say operator, because that operator is very important during the programming development. That operator will help you uh, to write some certain kind of a condition or assignment or multiple operations or multiple logics, multiple conditions you can write based on that operator. So that operator is very important part. So in C sharp, so there is a multiple types of operator. I can explain you few of them which are most important and most useful operator. Other than that, there are the multiple types of operator that are available in C sharp, but we are focusing only those operators that are mostly used. So operator in C sharp. So the first operator I'm talking about is basic assignment operator. So this is the first operator I'm talking about, the basic assignment operator. Basic assignment operators generally we are using for assignment. Assignment, it means whenever we are transferring or assigning some data from right to left for that particular kind of task, if you want to perform, then we have to use that assignment operator. And basically that assignment,
It's similar with the PL/SQL assignment, if I'm correct.
PL SQL assignment, if
Like
you
colon is equal to we are using to assign any variable in SQL.
I'm not much familiar with the syntax of PL/SQL, but I will give you the example. Based on that, you
Okay,
can
okay, sure, sure.
analyze is that similar or not. Uh, so basic is my assignment operator is I can say this symbol. This symbol are basically used for assignment. In I think in SQL we are using as an equal operator.
Yeah, we just use colon is equal to.
Okay, used to assign values to variable. So any variable, if you declare in the above example, if line number 16, you can see. So in this variable, there is a data type, then there is a variable name, and then there is an assignment operator, and then we have assigned 9 into that variable. That means the right to left value need to be assigned to that a variable, then you have to use the assignment operator. So that kind of a behavior basically assignment operator is. For that purpose, we are using equals to sign. Example we can take. So suppose there is a data type int a, and if you want to assign something to that variable, then simply write a equals to whatever the value you want to assign, and then semicolon. Semicolon is the mandatory thing that indicate that the line is terminated and end. So it moved to the next line. So that 898 is a value that we are going to assign to that variable a. So for that reason, we are using equal operator. So we are not, the equal operator is not a correct pronunciation or a name. Basically, we can say it is assignment instead of equal. Because if we say equal, then the perception will be we are comparing the two values. Okay, so the better pronunciation or better keyword to tell that this statement, basically we can say 898 is a value that is assigned to variable a. So that is the correct statement that we can make. Second operator, if we're talking about the example, full-fledged example, I will explain in a later class when the Daniel will be available, so that he can also understand that part, how we can broadly use that assignment operator. The second operator I'm talking about today is arithmetic operator. Arithmetic operator. Okay, so in that arithmetic operator, all the mathematics kind of operation. So
It seems I'm again learning the C++.
so what types of operator is available in C#? So operator symbol. So operator symbol is like plus or comma. So plus, minus,
multiplication
and multiply
and division
and divide.
and mode, I guess also.
And there is a 1% sign. So these are the basic symbol that we will use whenever any kind of a mathematical operation we want to perform. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, divide, and modular if you want to find something where we want to get the remainder value. We want to check the remainder value. So in that situation, we will use that percent sign. Move to the next operator is we can call next operator is like relational. Relational operator basically determine and identify is that that two operands having a is there any relation between that two operands? If that relation is available or satisfied, then it's returned true, or if not satisfied, then it returns false. What is operands? Operand, it means int is a data type, a equals to 5, then b equals to 6. So these are the two variable. So this is the operator and this is the operand. A and b is the operand. So we are comparing these two value. If you want to compare these two value, then we have to go for the relational operator. Operator is equals to, less than, greater than equals to, less than equals to, and not equals to. So basically these are the symbols generally we are using. If I will try to write the pseudo code. So if a greater than b, then you have to do some logic, else do other logic. So that kind of code you will be wrote whenever your conditions or something satisfied as per your requirement. Okay, similar kind of a condition you can write for equals to, not equals to. So every time we need a two values or two variable, then we need to perform this relation. Then we need to check. Need to move with another operator. For instance, the next operator is logical operator. So what kind of a symbol the C# will provide? For AND, it will provide a symbol. So in SQL or PSQL, you can use AND.
Yes.
But in a C#, you should have to use symbol. Okay, let me write in the next line. So for AND operation, symbol this AND. Or for OR, we should have to use a symbol, this pipe symbol in a keyboard, just above the enter button. There is a pipe symbol.
Concatenation
you-
from
correct. So that symbol 2 times you will it will consider as a OR operator in C#. Okay. So how how we will evaluate the logical part. So for example, if you have a operand operand 1, and for instance there is a operand 2. Now what will be the result if there is a operand something and in operand 2 we have a something different value? So in case of OR operator, what will be the result? And in case of AND operator, what will be the result that we are going to calculate? So this represent or this symbol represent AND. So now, so whenever we are comparing something, for instance, if we are comparing in a single statement, if you want to compare if A greater than B and A equals to B. So there is a two kind of condition if you want to check in a single statement. So we are checking A greater than B as well as A equals to B. And then we want to perform some logic. So that means that operator always return true and false. If that condition will meet, it will return true. If condition will not meet, it returns false. So if operand 1 is true, for instance, if this condition is true and if you use another condition as a OR, A equals to B, and if both the conditions becomes true, then what will be the result of AND and OR? So for instance, if operand 1 is true and operand 2 condition is also true, what will be the result of OR? So OR, it means if one condition will meet, no need to check the other condition, always result will be true. And in a AND operator, because both the conditions are true, that means AND operator always return true. That kind of a thing it will check actually. Let me copy, paste. The second case will be the first operand having a result of true and the second is false, then what will be the result of OR? OR is true. Because OR always first check the first condition, first operand condition. If the first operand condition becomes true, the program will not check for the second one. But in the AND case, if the first operand is true, the second will also be true. Otherwise, if the second operand result is false, it become false. It will not process that if condition or not meet the satisfied condition. So next case would be, for instance, if the first operand is false and the second operand is true, what will be the result of OR? Abhishek, can you tell? If the first is false, first condition is false, the second condition is true, what will be the result of OR operator?
it's true.
Correct. It's obvious, no?
Yes.
Any of the condition, if returns true, the OR always be true. And in AND operator is false, because AND operator always expect both the condition need to be true.
True.
None of the conditions become false. If any of the conditions become false, the AND operator always return false. But in the OR operator, if any of the conditions become false, there is no issue, it always return true. Okay.
Got it.
Now the next case would be, For instance, the first is true and the second is also, sorry, first is false and second is also false. In that situation, the OR operator false. It's obvious, no? The first condition is false, then it will check for the second condition. If second condition is also false, that means the OR condition become false. And what will be the result of AND? AND is also false.
Also false. Yeah.
Correct. So this way the logical operator will perform a task and conditions. For instance, suppose there is a variable a equals to 9 or b equals to 5, comma c equals to 7, for instance. Now we are checking if a equals to b, there is a first condition, and if we use OR, a, or instead of equals to, I'm going to use greater than b, and a greater than c. So if based on that input value, if a is greater than b, so a having a value of 9, b having a value of 5, so 9 is greater than b, that condition meet and return the result is true. Correct? Because a is greater than b. Now next criteria is, the next operand operator is a greater than c. So a value is 9 and c having a value of 7, so that condition also return true. In that situation, it will meet the criteria, and this logic, do your logic here. If condition meet, or else if it will not satisfy, then that kind of a thing is happening. So in case of OR, if any of the conditions return true, this code will execute. If any of the conditions of both the condition is false, this condition will not execute, it always goes to else condition. But instead of OR, if we use AND operator, for instance, so instead of OR, we use AND operator. So if A is greater than B, that conditions will meet, that is satisfied, and it returns true. So this value return true, and we are comparing these two values using not logical operator, using relational operator. So relational operator always return true and false. So using that relational operator, we are checking A is greater than B. That means it returns true as per the value we are checking. Okay, 9 is greater than 5. That is true. Again, it will checking A greater than C. That is also meet the condition, it return true. That means both the condition return true, then it will execute this value. If we change any of the value, suppose if I change 7 to 10, and then we are comparing, the first condition will meet, but the second condition false. In that situation, the else part will execute, not the first part. Because as per the operator, if any of the conditions become false, the AND operator always give a result as a false. Okay, now we will move for the next operator. The next operator will be unary. So unary operator, generally we are using, operator. So unary operator generally we're using, other than the other operator, this operator basically used for a single operand. Single operand in the sense only apply on a single variable, not two variable, or not required some other relational or operator data type to compare something. It's only applicable for a single operator. Whenever we need some kind of an increment or decrement, some kind of a concatenations, so that kind of things, if we apply, then we use unary instead of logical or relational anything. So the operator symbol like I can say plus, minus, plus plus, minus minus, and exclamatory. So these are the symbols generally we are using as a unary operator. So it will applicable for a single variable only. For instance, if you want to for example, so suppose we want to create a variable 5, and now if you want to increment that 5 value to 6 or 7 or 8, or through the process of your logic, every time you want to perform and increment that value. So in that situation, we need that unary operator to increment that value by 1. So generally that operator basically use when we are using or performing some kind of a continuous operation. Or continuous operation we will perform using looping kind of a mechanism. So when we are doing some kind of a loop where the task will perform until the condition becomes false. So if that kind of process is going on, so that unary operator will help you to stop your loop based on that condition. So for instance, so if you want to execute your program 5 times, for instance, so that variable having a value of 5, or you want to execute that program 5 times, or if you want to display hello 5 times. You want to say something? Or... Okay, no problem. So this is the actually last operator I'm going to explain today, and then after we will go for the example in next class.
Sure.
Okay. So for instance, for looping mechanism in C# we are using for, while multiple types are there. For do, for example, a less than 5, for example, int I less than a. Okay, or I can use instead while check condition int a less than I less than a, do the print hello. Okay, that kind of conditions a program we want to execute. Until these conditions become false, that hello need to be print in a continuous form. But if we left this program as it is, it will never end. It will go for infinite loop. So we want something to break when some criteria will meet. So we will apply here that a, or we will create some count. Suppose count start with 0, and we are checking, okay, if you want to count and that count will meet, then we want to break. Other than that count, if we will do that a minus minus, for instance. So every loop after printing the hello, that a value decrement by 1. So in the first time, the a having a value of 5, it print hello. But when this line got executed, the A value having exact value having 4 instead of 5, because we are using minus minus. So that means this minus minus is just like A equals to A minus 1. This statement we will write like this. Both the statements are similar. So when this loop will goes to that particular body, it will decrement by 1, and it will goes until that A having value of 0. So once that A having a value of 0, that loop will break.
So one thing is very
Because,
clear for me. One thing is very clear for me. That logic
yeah.
is almost same. The syntax is different. Otherwise, we are using same logic in everywhere in databases.
Correct. But I'm writing some kind of a pseudo code, not exact program. That's why we are using while, check, condition like that. But
Okay.
actually syntax is totally different.
Oh.
I'm writing some kind of a pseudo code, not exact program. Okay. That's why I'm writing some statement here, checking
Okay,
condition,
okay.
something. But this is not exact C# syntax. Okay, so I started I with 0, and then we are checking, okay, I less than A, that condition will meet. And then we are just decrement by A by 1, or other than that we can also if we increment I plus plus, that condition will also become false after execution of 5 times. So when the first time it will print hello. Again, I value got increment by 1, because the first time it will be 0, and the first iteration it becomes 1, second iteration it becomes second 2, in the third iteration it becomes 3, in the fourth iteration it becomes 4, and the fifth iteration, because there is no less than, equals to sign is here, so it will move only 4 times, because the counting start with 0. So after 4 time executions, that I value becomes 5, and the 5, that condition will not meet, the program will stop after displaying 5 times hello on the screen.
Yes.
So here we are using that unary operator. So in that situation, we will need that. In single plus and minus, we are using whenever we are concatenating something to this message. Suppose console dot write line, generally we are writing to display something, right, or hello. And that then after we want to concatenate something, some value or some variable. So in that situation, we are use only plus, and this plus is not used as an arithmetic operator. It is used as a unary operator. It will apply on a single operand for concatenating a variable into that hello string. So like that, this unary operator we will use multiple places whenever we wrote some logical or operation or method or logic or program. In that situation, these all types of operator are frequently used, very useful operator. Without this, we can't write a logic. So we should have idea about that operator. That's why I just explain you those most useful
No, it's
operators.
important. Yes, it's important.
Okay. So actually, most frequently, these are the main operators the most frequently we are using throughout the development life cycle. So yeah, that's it for today. In next class, when Daniel is back, I will explain with the example in a C# syntax, not in the such kind of a pseudocode. I will explain you in so that you will get clear that this is not a syntax of C#. Okay.
Okay.
With example, and then you will understand it better.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, can you give this page on that prospect book? Yes, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.